Good afternoon and welcome to the Appalachian Weekly News.
Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, I'm Josh Hemphill.
And I'm Hayden Autry. A car crash occurred at the intersection of Council and King Street yesterday, shortly after 4 p.m. The driver crashed into a tree, then rolled over, coming to a stop shortly after. Boone PD, along with fire and Watauga medics, quickly responded to the accident, airlifting the driver to Johnson City for medical care. Authorities reported that the driver had an accidental discharge of his firearm. It is unknown if the discharge itself caused the crash, as Boone PD is still investigating the incident. The driver was able to speak to investigators following the crash, but his condition is unknown at this time.
From the small town of Boone, an organization is making an impact globally. Our reporter Johnny Nardello is live to tell us more.
Thank you, Hayden and Josh. Clean drinking water. This is something that a lot of people take for granted, including myself. But that is not the case for everybody. I'm stood here outside of Wine to Water, which is a global nonprofit organization aimed to provide everybody with clean drinking water. I had the opportunity to sit with two of the team members to talk about what Wine to Water does and their mission. Wine to Water is a global nonprofit organization headquartered in Boone. They were founded in 2004 and aim to preserve life through clean water. I had the chance to talk to Allie about how anybody can build a filtration system.
So you can sponsor and assemble filtration kits, and the great part is you put them together, whether that's at a conference or an event or in the comfort of your own home with your family. It's a really exciting, fast-growing program because you don't have to come with us to Nepal, you don't have to come with us globally to serve. You can still have an impact right where you are.
Wine to Water has offices around the world like Nepal, Dominican Republic, the Amazon, and Tanzania. They offer different ways for people to get water, like rebuilding wells, sand filters, and ceramic filtration pots. Apart from the offices, I also had the chance to tour their warehouse, where I got to see some of the volunteers at work and speak with Corey about the logistics of Wine to Water and why it's important to him.
Wine to Water obviously means a lot to me, to be able to, give back to people and to be able to do something really bigger than what, any one individual can really do, to do something bigger than themselves.
Wine to Water usually sends out around 2,000 filtration kits a week to different parts of the U.S. and the world. And each filter lasts up to 10 years. If you want more information, make sure to visit their website at wtw.org. With the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Johnny Nardello.
Thanks, Johnny. Earlier this week, the Office of Sustainability held a terrarium workshop on Sanford Mall for students to learn how to build their own enclosed miniature garden. Our correspondent, Jalen Sturdivant, has more.
To celebrate Earth Month here at App State, the Office of Sustainability is having a whole slew of events to promote sustainability. One of the events was a terrarium workshop where they provided supplies for students to make their own miniature ecosystem right on Sanford Mall. Let's take a look.
I'm a sustainability ambassador with the Office of Sustainability here on campus. Today we are out here on Sanford Mall doing a terrarium workshop. So the ambassadors and I have collected local moss and rocks and jars from recycling bins around campus and have them out here for students to come build a terrarium. This is part of our Earth Month events, so during the month of April we are working a lot with students and sustainability, doing peer-to-peer outreach and sustainability education here on campus. So you can check us out at sustain.appstate.edu or our Engage website to find out what else we are doing this April.
Again, in honor of Earth Month, the Office of Sustainability will be having more events where you can learn more about how to be sustainable all throughout the month of April. Visit sustain.appstate.edu to learn more. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Jalen Sturdivant.
Tonight, join Queen and You at their annual ball. This year, the theme is Blackout, Black Tie, Red Carpet Ball. All proceeds will benefit Oasis. This is a formal ball, so the attire is all black as the dress code. Single general admission is $15 and couples general admission is $20. There's also a VIP level. For singles, it's $30 and for couples, it's $40. VIPs receive early entry, private balcony entrance, swag bags, a red carpet photo shoot, and catered food. For more information, you can go to engage.appstate.edu.
With weather getting warmer and finals around the corner, many people are looking for fun ways to experience the high country. Our reporter Ben Gosey traveled to the Wilderness Alpine Coaster in Banner Oak to take a look at a fun way people can coast through the mountains.
The Wilderness Run Alpine Coaster, located here in Banner Elk, it's the first and only coaster of its kind in North Carolina. Sure to bring your family some fun. You can go through the mountains zooming at 27 miles per hour, all while catching beautiful views of the scenes. The coaster is family owned and operated. Opened in 2020 by Eric and Tara Bichard, they wanted to provide the High Country's visitors and residents with another fun way to experience the mountains.
Some interesting people come through all over the world. We've had people from Europe to Africa to Alaska. It's kind of interesting getting people in here.
The track is 3,160 feet long, where guests speed down a long track of loops and turns, using their own brake to control how fast the ride goes. Visitors can choose to ride solo or together in the cart, but to ride solo, visitors must be at least 54 inches tall. Occupants must also be at least 3 years old to ride, where they can ride in front, where a passenger 16 years and older can ride behind them. The coaster offers different ticket packages, where visitors can choose to ride once or multiple times, letting them experience different things every time they go through. After the ride, guests walk through the gift shop, where they can watch and purchase a video of their ride.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. It was a thrill. Going around the corners, super fast.
The Alpine coaster also offers a high ropes course, giving people another heart racing adventure. The 28 obstacle course is meant to test people's balance and climbing skills, letting even the youngest adventurers test their skills in the skies. Many families were out celebrating the warmer weather and their spring breaks, coming to take the stress off by riding around the high country with their families. I was given the opportunity to experience the coaster myself, where I had a great time zooming through the track to see just how fast I could go. So whether you're zipping through the trees of the Alpine coaster or climbing high in the treetops of the adventure course, you're going to have some great memories. I'm Ben Gosi, Appalachian Weekly News.
On Wednesday, Wellness and Prevention Services hosted Project Condom, an event to raise awareness about safer sexual health behaviors and decrease the stigma in a fun and innovative way. Teams of students created garments made entirely of condoms and modeled by a team member. I talked to Annie Morgan, student director of the event, to find out more.
Being here and walking on this runway is a great way for people to know that sex is something that isn't taboo and is something that should be talked about and should be normalized.
The winner was chosen by public vote based on creativity, theme, message, design, and stage presence. For more events hosted by Wellness and Prevention Services, visit wellness.appstate.edu.
With the recent anti-Semitic acts in the Boone community, student-led organization Hillel and Jewish fraternity AEPI have come together for a day against hate. The organizations have encouraged students, staff, and community members to come learn about Judaism and different cultures, try new cultural foods, and win prizes through educational trivia, all to help build relationships within the community. The event will be this Sunday, April 16th from 1 to 4. For those who love new and interesting musical styles, this Sunday, Jonathan Scales Orchestra will perform the concerto Mind State Music, accompanied by ASU's Steely Pan Band. Orchestra is a jazz and funk band that blends multiple genres of music into their work. The trio of Alon J.D. at electric bass, Mason Goudry on drums, and head artist Jonathan Scales playing steel pans combines the elements of jazz, classical, and progressive rock, peppered with Latin rhythms and soulful outbursts of funk. Be sure to make time to watch the trio perform at Schaefer Center Sunday, April 19th at 2 p.m. And for more information on the Sunday concert and their upcoming schedule, visit schaefercenter.org/event/SteelyPanBand.
This Sunday, the Asian Student Association will host its biggest event of the year. Luck of the Draw will include performances from members, a cultural fashion show, and food from many different Asian cultures. The dress code is casino semi-formal, so bring your best and join the Asian Student Association for a night of games and food. For more information on the event, search Asian Fest 2023 on Engage.
If you want to visit one of the Appalachia's grandest views, Grandfather Mountain has a deal for you. In the month of April, tickets will be $5 for residents of the High Country only. These dollar days will last the entire month as the promotion returns in time for spring. The promotion allows anyone who lives or works in Allegheny, Ashe, Avery, Mitchell, Watauga, or Wilkes counties, along with their guests traveling in the same vehicle, to visit at the discounted rate. Students attending a local college or university are also eligible for the discount. Be sure to take advantage of the low prices for a High Country view to remember. App TV is Appalachian State University's award-winning television channel that is staffed by and ran by students. To get an insight into what it is like to be both a student and producer, we sent our very own McKinnon McDermott.
I am McKinnon McDermott, and I am here inside the George G. Beasley Media Complex, which is home to some of the most hardworking and dedicated students within the communications major. The Beasley Media Complex is the home for all students of the electronic media broadcasting major. Within this very building, students take advantage of state-of-the-art equipment to create, edit, and produce their own content for App TV. All of this is handled and organized by students. I decided to sit down with the two producers myself.
I think the hardest part about being a producer and a student is trying to get people organized, because sometimes people are, really consistent, or sometimes they're not. And that's the biggest problem, is trying to create something and have people there also helping.
I think the hardest part about being a producer for me is just managing it all. I think it's hard to have, or to feel like you have a crew depend on you, and just be put in that leadership position where you have to do your best because other people are counting on you to do your best.
On top of their schoolwork and personal lives, student producers are responsible for consistently creating episodes for their respective show, requiring them to hold meetings, organize stories and students, and even anchor and host their own programs.
App TV takes up a lot of my time. Between AWN, Buenos Dias, Boone, and anything that I have to do for classes, it takes up the majority of my days. For example, like I went clogging the other day because I had to film a package for it, and I was out until really late. And then that same day I had to come and edit it, which took however long.
As you can see, there's no lack of dedication or creativity in these hardworking students. The promise of hope is fulfilled, and the future is bright for the George G. Beasley Media Complex. With the Appalachian Weekly News, I am McKinnon McDermott.
Is your screen time too high on TikTok? That may not be a problem anymore, as more than 20 public universities across the country have banned the social media app. Our reporter Judson Mape has more on the controversy surrounding the popular app.
Today I am at one of the biggest social media attractions here in Boone, North Carolina. Speaking of social media, TickTock. You may love it, you may hate it. Regardless of what you think about it though, it is one of the most successful apps out there, generating over 672 million views last year. However, with that success comes controversy. Let's take a look at what's happening regarding the app.
The problem with TikTok started in December of last year, when President Joe Biden banned the app from federal devices and networks. His primary reasoning for doing so cites national cybersecurity risks, since the company is owned by Chinese corporation ByteDance. Shortly after the federal ban, governors began to take action as well, as 20 states have now banned the app, one of those states being North Carolina. On January 12th, Roy Cooper signed an executive order to ban the app from state devices. The ban doesn't include universities, but 20 universities across the country have followed their state's orders and enforced a ban. Appalachian State has its own influencers, as well as clubs and organizations who are heavily involved in the app. I got to speak with 2 content creators on campus to ask about their involvement with the app, as well as the effects of it possibly being taken away.
But the kind of content that we're posting and the kind of content that we do plan on posting for next season is mainly kind of what our rehearsals look like, what our band camp days look like, different stuff that we're working on. We use it primarily as kind of a recruiting technique for new incoming freshmen.
While TikTok is nice and is a great social media platform to represent our school and our football team, I definitely do think that there's other ways that we can do that and produce the best content for Appalachian State.
With many universities across the country enforcing the ban on TikTok, it only leaves us one question. Could Appalachian State University be next? That's a question only time will be able to tell. I'm Judson Mabe, Appalachian Weekly News.
Coming up, record attendance for App State baseball.
And some high-speed action took place in Bristol, just across the border. We'll check it out after this break.
It's official, spring sports are in full swing here at App State, with multiple teams surging into conference play. But first, our reporter Jeff Marson has more on what's been going on in the world of sports. Jeff, what do you have for us?
Last weekend, the biggest name in American motorsports returned to the Appalachian region. Our field correspondent Noah Cornelius ventured out to Bristol to cover all the action for us.
It's a windy and sunny day here at Bristol Motor Speedway, or should I say on top of Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, this racetrack is one of the crown jewels of the Appalachian region, and it has been for decades. But for the third year in a row, NASCAR has added a little special flair to it: dirt. Now, Cody, if you'll step forward, as you can see here at Bristol Motor Speedway, there's dirt all over this normally concrete track. 23,000 cubic yards of dirt to be exact. And App TV was here the entire weekend covering all the action. The screaming sounds of 37 V8 engines reverberated around the high country last weekend as NASCAR returned to Bristol Motor Speedway for their third annual Bristol Dirt Race weekend. This was the first time the race was held under the Sunday night lights, but it was also the second year in a row that the race was run on Easter Sunday. And to celebrate Easter Sunday, track owner Speedway Motorsports brought the help of Christian singer Phil Wickham and a sermon from Tim Tebow.
He loved you enough. He loved me enough.
Racing on the weekend started the day before, with many young drivers trying to make a name for themselves in the Weather Guard truck race on dirt.
I mean, really, it's just taking advantage of this opportunity here with GMS Racing and the Wendell Scott Foundation, and again, General Motors and Chevrolet. I've got a great group of men and women on my 24 Chevy Silverado, and I'm honestly having a lot of fun going to the racetrack with them and being in the simulator with them and at the race shop.
You know, I have an amazing team. I have amazing partners in Gamebridge, Chevrolet, and obviously driving for Rev Racing and Max Siegel, and I think the best for us is yet to come. And we've had great speed, but it would have been a little bit better if we would have had some trophies back at the shop. But hopefully they're coming.
Carruth and Sanchez would go on to finish 11th and 18th respectively, but it was two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Joey Logano who took the trophy and the sword Saturday night. On Sunday night, the NASCAR Cup Series took to the dirt in next-generation technology on the surface that NASCAR was built on 75 seasons ago, capping off the lone dirt weekend of the year.
I like the dirt race as a one-off. I like the evolution of the stock cars. Eventually, we had to catch up with technology, what they call the glass panel in front where all the instrumentation is, the glass dashboard, so to speak. We got away from carburetors to fuel injection, and we've had to keep up with the technology that you have on your own passenger car now.
Many fans praised the racing on Sunday, with some considering it the best Bristol Dirt Cup race to date. Many racers jockeyed for the win, but it was dirt racing veteran Christopher Bell who claimed victory for Joe Gibbs Racing after a hard-fought battle against Toyota teammate Tyler Reddick in the closing laps. Bell joined Logano as the final gladiators left standing at the last great Coliseum. Now, at this time, it is unknown if dirt will return to Bristol Motor Speedway in 2024, making this event all the more special for everyone who got to come out and witness it. Noah Cornelius, App TV.
The App State baseball team had an attendance record at Smith Stadium earlier this week. 1,376 fans were on hand to watch the Mountaineers as they played host to the number 2 ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons. App State led Wake Forest through 4 innings, but the visitors' bats came alive with a 5-run fifth to propel the Deacons to a 10-4 victory. The Mountaineers will be back on the road against rival Georgia Southern for a 3-game series starting tonight. The App State softball team swept a doubleheader away from East Tennessee State on Tuesday. The Mountaineers took the first game in dramatic fashion, winning 4-3 in 8 innings. Emily Parrott was the Game 1 hero as she registered the walk-off single that gave the Mountaineers the win. In the Game 2 victory, the Mountaineers jumped out to an early lead in the first inning behind an RBI double from Mary Pierce Barnes. Kaylee Northrup threw a complete game, striking out 5 Buccaneers as well. App State starts a 3-game road series tonight against South Alabama. Women's tennis senior Helena Jansen was named Sun Belt Player of the Week. The Mountaineers senior has been the #1 singles player all season long and impressed again this past weekend. Jansen won both of her singles matches first in come-from-behind fashion against South Alabama, and then she swept the #1 singles player of Southern Miss. The Mountaineers wrap up the home schedule today at 2 p.m. with a critical conference bout against Marshall. Josh and Hayden, back to you.
Thanks, Jeff. That's all we have for you on this week's Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Josh Hemphill.
And I'm Hayden Autry. Be sure to tune in for next week's show. Thank you for watching.